Now let's look at a template which I have prepared here. I will show you the Excel file of it later. Now, for the time being, just let's understand what are the component of this one. So first thing you will see is the recipe name. It's an antipasto misto mare. Category is appetizers and salad. Recipe number, recipe code is here so that you can refer it to it later. Important thing is portion size. When we this portion size is not the selling price, it's the portion size which the kitchen is going to produce. So it's gonna, if it can be produced in one portion, it's fine. If it cannot be prepared in one portion, can need to be prepared two or three portions at the same time, then the costing has to be done in the same manner. You cannot do prepare costing for one portion when you are actually producing it by 5 portions or 10 portions. Now, the next type is to list out all the ingredients which are used in this preparation. So it may includes different type of prawns, octopus, olive oil, rectu salad. Since it's a salad, we are not considering the cooking oil here because it doesn't require cooking oil. But olive oil is for the mixing and garnishing. Then you have salad, tomato, onion, lemon, everything else is there. Unit price is should be based on the purchase price, the purchasing unit. If you are buying this prawns in kilograms, by kilograms. If you are using this, if you are buying this in terms of number of pieces, then you have to use the pieces. Some countries may be buying in pounds, some countries may be bound in, for example, Myanmar is buying in Wis, Thailand has baht, India has kg, UK has pounds. So you have to use the unit of measurement in which you are buying the product. Otherwise, you may misjudge the quantity in which you are buying and the quantity in which you are using it. If you have different quantity, then you need to put the unit of measurement, the unit of conversion into the factor, which I can teach later on. Then you have the quantity in the final production. So the final portion, how much we are going to use in the final portion. So this is based on, not based on how much quantity we take when we start preparing. This quantity depends on what is the mix in the final proportion. So here we say 100 grams of each, 150 grams for octopus, 50 grams for olive oil, then 3 grams or 30 grams each for rochitio or rocket salad, then 50 grams for tomato, 2 grams, 20 grams for onions, and 2 lemons. Now, which we understood finally perfectly, no problem. Now we said we have to prepare the preparation waste. So in the preparation, how much would be the wastage and how much is the actual yield when we are receiving the item from the supplier till the preparation. Because you may have certain in the prawns especially, you have shell, you have this, you have that, so you may want to remove it, you are going to remove it, and those things are put into the kilogram price. So the usually the suppliers are um, guaranteeing the yield, but you have to check your yield calculations specifically for each recipe, for each product. Because certain items maybe you have to cut more, some certain products you have to cut less, certain has to be fillet, certain can go with the bone, so the yield will be different for each item. So you have to calculate the yield for each particular recipe for each item and then put it here. This yield based on is based on the from the supplier to the preparation. And this preparation waste means that while we are getting the item after the yield, do we have any waste? I have put 10% just to show you the impact, but it may not be there at all, or it may be there a while, maybe 5%, 2%, 3%. So you have to monitor how much is the average waste in the preparation time. Maybe when you're preparing, you may by error you may cut more, you may cut less, or you may spill it on the ground. So there are always definitely the wastages. So you have to consider some part, maybe 1%, 2%, 3%. Otherwise you will not be able to price your costing properly. Then you will get the gross yield. So how we get that? We get this by dividing zero point 0.1 100 grams by 10% and also by 30%. So we get it 0.159 is the gross quantity that we need when we are buying from the supplier. So we need to buy 159 grams in order to use 100 grams. And then this is the purchase price. Why we are using it? Because purchase price is the easiest thing you will get from the system, you will get from the PR, everybody knows it. And then you will be able to combine amount multiply by the kilogram. So here you will see zero point 0.8 and then you will get the subtotal. Then you will calculate the price fluctuation. In this example I have added 10%, but you can add more or less depending on what is the actual experience been in the outlet. You can then you have the grand total and you will add certain contingency 5% or 2% or 3% or whatever you are feeling comfortable. What is your experience together with the in the chef in the preparation? So you have to add certain contingency. Finally you will get the cost for one portion. Based on this portion you will apply the standard cost. So here you getting desired food cost. You have to fill in this desired food cost at 35. I am assuming at 35%. It can be more, can be less. It depends on the on the restaurant design on the restaurant, whatever cost you decide to be. Then you have ideal selling price. We come by dividing 5% with 35%, which we get 14.55. We add service money and the tax to it. So total we get 16.8 and then we do the round off. So the tax you have to change based on whatever tax rate is there in the government, because normally you have to pay the taxes and the service money to the things. Now what we need to remember apart from these is that you need to update this recipe probably every 3 months or 6 months depending on your practice. And yield and waste are subject to change. Different chef may be able to cut differently, so you may have to update your recipe based on the skill set available. If there is a change in the chef, you have to see what is the waste that is depending, that is prevalent for that particular chef.